Hello. Hello to everybody out there on YouTube and Instagram. It's Makeda Valletta, also known as the Renaissance Amazon and the Body Scientist. I hope you all are doing well today. So, if you're unfamiliar with me and my work, I am a strength and conditioning coach, a trainer, a sports nutritionist, a sacred sexual educator, and dancer, all those things. And so if you're on my YouTube page, you have some idea what this video is about. I didn't really know what to title it because there's a few things I want to get into. But this video is really going to be centered around how Nani eggs and cannabis can help women's orgasms and orgasmic potential, and how I'm going to be teaching a series of little get-togethers and meetups based around this topic, right? So for those of you, some of you may be new to me, and you may or may not be familiar with yoni eggs or nani eggs, which are crystal and stone eggs that women work with internally in our vaginal canal to help strengthen our vaginal muscles and get more control, right? So here is one right here, okay? Here's an example of one right here, okay? So this is made from sunstone. So they're made from different crystals and stones. I have tons of YouTube videos about it. I started working with these in 2005, okay? And in 2007, I began teaching a class to women called Sensual Strength Training, where I taught women the importance and how to use this egg, various exercises internally to move the eggs all around, up and down, to get more control of our pelvic floor. So it's not just in our vaginal muscles. So it's not just about strengthening the vaginal muscles, but it's also about getting control over our vaginal muscles, becoming more sensitive, more orgasmic, more lubricated. There's a lot of different things. And, you know, that kind of led me into birth work. I became a doula. And so I'm very much, you know, a lot of my research and work, I work with men and women, but a lot of my research and work has been centered around women's reproductive health, women's sexual health, and empowering women in that way, okay? I also care about the men too, so I have stuff for you guys as well, but this video is about the ladies, okay? So some of you also may have seen some of my recent videos about cannabis oil. Now, me, myself, I have always, you know, my adult life been a weed smoker, and I'm very much into the different, you know, medicinal properties of it. I, however, was never somebody who could say that we get horny, right? But I know a lot of women who say that smoking makes them aroused. It makes them horny. A lot of women say that. I was having a conversation with a woman last night who was swearing by OG Kush as giving, you know, the most intense orgasms. I think one of the best ways to learn about this is through conversation, through sharing, because there are not a lot of researchers who are researching this. But anecdotal evidence counts for something. Now, so for me, what I've noticed, because we do have, all of us have endocannabinoid receptors all throughout our body. And women, we have endocannabinoid receptors all throughout our reproductive organs, our uterus, our fallopian tubes, yada, yada, yada. So what I notice is that when I'm on my cycle, when it's that time of the month for me, I smoke a lot of weed. Like, I smoke weed anyway, but when I'm on my period, it's even more. Like, it's all day, and I'm just like, I don't care. And I'm not in a lot of pain. I don't have like really painful, horrible menstrual cycles. For the women who do, check out my video on my other YouTube page, The Body Scientist 81, where it's called What Your Menstrual Cycle Says About You. And you can learn a lot about that, because it may be common to have painful, agonizing menstrual cycles, but it's not normal, okay? So I'm not in a whole bunch of pain or anything, but it's just like, you know, you feel a little bloated, and menstrual time for women is a very spiritual time, okay? So I'm just really in my own, I feel like I go into my own little cocoon, and I just smoke a lot, right? And I feel like it helps. Now, but in terms of being aroused, you know, and everybody's different. You know, you got some women who are really horny on the period. I'm not one of those people. So everybody is different, right? But what I have found is that using the oil, okay, the oil is what makes me tingly and aroused. And putting it on, massaging the oil on my vulva, putting it on my clitoris, putting it internally. Sometimes I like to put the cannabis oil all over the egg. So you can I'll put the cannabis oil all over the egg because I have it in this little dropper, and I'll just squeeze it out. And then I put the egg inside of me, and I instantly feel like, ooh, everything is lighting up, feeling super stimulated, right? Now, the benefits to this, okay? There are many benefits. Number one, cannabis oil is very anti-inflammatory, and the one that I have, Miracle Nut, is made in coconut oil, right? So coconut oil is also very antimicrobial, antibacterial, but so is the cannabis, right? So you have something that's very potent in killing all kinds of viruses and bacteria. So this helps to maintain the bacterial balance in our vaginal canal, right? Which is really important. So this is really, really important. So that's one thing. Another thing, cannabis oil helps to increase the flow of blood to the circulation to an area, which is good for many different issues. But when it comes to arousal, that's what happens. In men and women, the blood rushes to the genitals. So the cannabis oil helps in that way. And our clitoris, see, I love this artwork because a lot of people don't know about the clitoris. So this symbol, and if you don't know, we'll look it up. This is, a lot of people think of the clitoris as just this little circle up here, right? But it really comes, it's like this whole entire organ. So it comes down, it surrounds if you have the opening of the vagina right here, the clitoris internally, okay, surrounds the opening of the vagina. This is internally. And this right here is also internal. So you don't see this. This is the clitoris, is the whole entire organ, is this. Okay, all we see is this button. That's external. But internally, this is all that we have. So when you put the egg inside of you, and it's going to stimulate that anyway. So it's going to stimulate the internal clitoris. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of women, they get their libido. Like, there are a lot of women who didn't have libido. Maybe they had a baby and they lost their libido, or different things that happen, hormonal changes, and it comes back working with this. Now, you combine that with the egg, with the oil, and also it just adds to that. And it's also very, very helpful for women who may be afraid, okay? Because my experience of working with women with the eggs, sometimes there are women who are super terrified to put them inside themselves. My experience has usually been there's some sort of trauma, okay? I don't want to put that on everybody and say that 100%, but that's been my observation. There's usually some sort of trauma that makes this woman terribly afraid of putting this inside of her. I've seen women transform. I've seen them turn into their best selves. I've seen them boss up and leave abusive relationships and just change what they need to change in their life, right? I've seen, I have seen a lot of that. Anyhow, what am I trying to say? Yeah, so then you have women, right? There's all kinds of things that's not really talked about. Like, a lot of men don't know how unhappy and unsatisfied women are. Now, sexually. Now, if you're in a relationship with a woman, you're married to her, maybe you have kids with her, she may not want to leave the relationship because the sex sucks, because she has security, because she has a kid with you, or she doesn't want to break up her family. But she may be incredibly sexually unsatisfied. And the thing about relationships, which is one of the hard things for me, because I'm not anti-relationship, but I need my shit taken care of. So, if I get with somebody and you're taken care of, I need to be taken care of, and then you don't, then I can't promise you that I'm just going to sit here and no, I'm not about that life, okay? Life is too short, and if you don't use it, you will lose it. A really good family friend of mine, she's older. She's close to 70. She always tells me, I wish I had more sex when I was younger, And I heard a comedian talking about this once. He was talking about, it was some black comedian recently, I don't know if it was on Netflix or, it might have been, I think it was a dude from Chicago. He's in Blackish, and he's from Chicago. He has a Netflix special or something, and he's talking about women who are like, oh no, I can't, don't, like constantly blocking, talking about what they can't do, what they won't do sexually, how they're holding themselves up. But the next day, you know, you're old and your shit don't work, right? So you don't want that to happen. If you don't use it, you will lose it, okay? And we're sexual beings. If you want to be a sexual being into your old age, you have to use it, take care of it, right? But you just never know. We're sexual beings. It gives us lots of pleasure. It's a very good stress reliever. So you got women who may be in a relationship with a man where maybe the sex was good at first, and then he stopped turning her on. He stopped with the foreplay. He stopped. And those things are important for a woman to open up. Otherwise, sex can be very uncomfortable. Then if the man is well endowed, it's even more important. So you have men who are well endowed and they're very lazy about warming the woman up. They think that because they're big, that's just enough, not understanding that being big can be a good thing if the woman is open and horny and welcoming and wanting that. But if she's not, it's incredibly uncomfortable, right? But you have women who may be in a relationship or a marriage or a situation where they still have to have sex with this dude. And so that's where the oil may come into play. You know, it can save relationships. And I've heard stories of it saving relationships for reasons like that, okay? Because once she puts the oil on her vulva, on her clitoris, she instantly starts to become aroused and open, and sex becomes more comfortable, okay? It can make your orgasms more intense. Now, I know for me, like, I don't have an orgasmic problem, but I have seen it. It's helped me. It's helped. Just like I might not have even been horny, and I put the oil on, and just immediately starts to do that, right? So even as a man, he can use that when he's giving his woman a Nani massage. Okay, if you don't know what that is, Nani massage, pussy massage, then look at my other YouTube videos about it. But it's a healing massage that you can give your lady, okay? And you can use that as well. So it's really helpful for women's sexuality for those reasons. It helps her to be more open, more aroused, helps pain to take away painful sex if she's having those issues. And the egg also helps with that. And I feel like the combination of the two is like the perfect fire of your awareness. And then the cannabis oil could also be ingested. So, you know, I started teaching my class years ago, and I'm working on books now. I've said that in the past, but I'm always researching, always learning. But I am working on a series of new events, right? And for the women who are interested in these events, or you want to book me to come do an event where you are, just email me, contact me at thebodyscientist81@gmail.com. I put the email address below, thebodyscientist81@gmail.com. But this Saturday in Chicago, which is where I currently reside, I'm from New York City, but I reside in Chicago. I'm back and forth between New York and Chicago a lot, you know, so in DC a lot. But this Saturday in Chicago for the winter solstice, I am going to have an event for the ladies that's centered around the eggs, learning more about these eggs, learning about the cannabis oil. And then also I'm going to lead ladies through some internal exercises with the eggs so that they can have, because you can just put the egg in and just wear it, which is what a lot of people do. You will still see benefits, but there are lots of exercises to do with them that I teach. And so I will teach a little bit of the exercises, and ladies can sample a little bit of the cannabis oil if you are interested. And I will have cannabis oil for sale. I will have eggs for sale. And I will also be making homemade eggnog, because despite what people think, I'm also a nutritionist, right? And you can look at my nutrition videos on the Body Scientist 81. Eggs are very good for you. Pasture eggs from a farm is very good for you. And ladies, eggs are good for our eggs, okay? Like heals like. Eating eggs is good for our eggs, all right? Milk, the lands of milk and honey, right? The lands of milk and honey. Milk is actually, when you're dealing with raw grass-fed milk, not milk from the commercial food industry that's full of chemicals and homogenized and pasteurized. I'm talking about raw grass-fed milk from the cow goddess, okay? And there are cow goddesses all throughout the world. And you have the land of milk and honey. And milk and honey is great for your skin too, okay? But raw milk Sorry, that was my speaker. Raw milk is very nourishing to people, okay? But especially, it's also a womb nourishing food, and it's high in probiotics and very important fats. And then I put raw honey in my eggnog. So my eggnog is basically raw milk, raw pasture egg yolks, raw honey, and some rum, okay? So, and I bet you all will love it. So, definitely, if you're interested in attending this Saturday in Chicago, be sure to email me. If you RSVP by Thursday, it will be $5, okay? If you RSVP by Thursday, it is $5. And after that, it will go up to $8. And yeah, contact me. I'll give you information. And it'll all be about Nani eggs, cannabis oil, and how it can affect women in their orgasms. And we'll sip on some eggnog, we'll share stories, and I will lead you through some exercises, okay? It's really, really, I forgot. The other part that I wanted to add to this event on Saturday, forgot about this. How did I forget about this? Is we will do a 20-minute Nani steam, okay? So if you've never heard of a yoni steam, a V steam, vaginal steams, I like the word Nani for punani, sacred flower. Ladies will be asked to bring their own little bowl or pot, and we will do in a blanket, and we will get into some steaming. So because this is really, really important. I also have videos about the importance of vaginal medicine, herbal medicine, and vaginal steaming, which are called bajos in Mexican. I learned it from Pakazani and Digimama. And indigenous Mexican traditions, they're called bajos, okay? So bajos, V steam, yoni steam, Nani steam, steaming, pussy steam, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to be doing that, which is very warming for the womb, which is very important in the wintertime that we keep our wombs warm. Steaming eggs, cannabis, okay? And the cannabis oil it can be ingested as well. And when you ingest it, that also can have a relaxing, stimulating feeling on a woman. So one thing I want to ask everybody who's listening, to any women who are listening to this, if cannabis makes you aroused, and please tell me, please write the comment below. Tell me if it's smoking it that does that, if it's putting it on topically, have you tried using it topically? And this oil that I'm talking about is not CBD oil. People keep calling it CBD oil. CBD oil does not have THC in it. This oil does have THC in it. THC is also very healing. If you have not seen my videos on that topic, please check them out. I will post them below my YouTube video. Below this YouTube video, so be sure to check them out and learn, okay? So again, ladies who are interested in attending this Saturday in Chicago for the winter solstice, December 21st, 2019, email me, thebodyscientist81, THEBODYSCIENTIST81 at gmail.com. And I'm also thinking about doing some of these events in New York and DC. So New York and DC, if you're interested, let me know, especially because I'll be back and forth between New York and DC for the holidays. So I'm thinking about doing something in New York and DC as well. So it's kind of like I'll go where the wind blows me, okay? So ladies who are interested, be sure to reach out to me, let me know, and we'll see what can happen. Okay, if you learned something from this video, please share it. And you could also follow if you want to know more about the eggs, you can follow me on Instagram at Nani, NANIEGGS. And also check out all my numerous videos I've done over the years on the eggs, okay? But it's time, women, for us to step into our sacred pussy power and claim all of our orgasmic energy and be as orgasmic as possible and have a fulfilling sex life. And even if you already have a fulfilling sex life, it can get better, trust me. And orgasmic energy, sexual energy is healing energy. It's healing energy, it's spiritual energy. It's how we strengthen our chi, okay? It's how we strengthen our chi. It's how we age gracefully. Very, very important, okay? So I hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for listening. Bye-bye.